Asia, China, it doesn't matter, okay? Their nationality is based essentially on the civic registration where they are located. I want to make that point clear because we're dealing with the fact of rather than the preference of. Okay? Geography gets to be a matter of preference. In other words, if you moved to Russia next week and started speaking Russian and signed your civic right over to the Russian government, you're then a Russian Moor. Okay? But wherever you move, you can't change more. Let me put it that way. So the point of name is the fact of clarity of identity. There's an old, quote, Egyptian proverb, "He who has no name does not exist." And the rationale of that is that name equates with nature, function, ability, talents, power. Okay, that's the significance and meaning of name. Why God has so many names in everybody's scripture is because God has so much power. Name also reflects power and the kinds of power. We'll get to that in a moment concerning those names in the many scriptures. But the point of beginning, of motif, central theme of study, does not, will not, cannot, need not change between now until you kick open your box to climb in to leave here. It is still you that you should study and should know. Man, know thyself, and to thine own self be true. That's not biblical. That comes from your ancestral body of cultural knowledge. Man, know thyself, and you will know the gods and the universe. It was written on the temple walls of Dendera, one of the ancient lodges of the ancient Moors. Lord of the earth is the meaning of Moor. It is in the Bible. In Revelations chapter 5, verse 11. But it is not given as a person. Though it appears to be a person, it is given in its symbological meaning that represents what we are going to discuss today when we get into Gemini. It is also in reference to what is called retranslating. In the genealogy of Ham, who is Cam, not Ham, it was not Cam, but Camur, in the full name or registration of the name of Ham, one of his descendants is Misraim. This is Moors. In some Bibles of today, they replace the concept the Hebrew spelling of so-called Moors. And in one Bible I found where they simply gave this abbreviation for Egypt. Okay. In Harper's Biblical Encyclopedia, you will find a synonymic exchange of Egypt for Misraim. Okay? Lord of the earth is not given directly except in reference to, in the commandment to Noah. He is to do what? Man is to do what? Any of you good Christians know? What the commandment is, man is to take what? To take what of the earth? To take dominion of the earth. Okay? The earth that is referring to in the metaphysical view is not the physical planet Earth, but your body is the earth. You're to take dominion of your own earth, your own body. To do that, you must be master of your physical, biochemical, and psychological body form. The direct functionability of human nature insists that you master it. Otherwise, some part of your own nature will compel you to behave compulsively. That is what we're seeing in the world. Those who have no power over their own glands, over the fire of their own blood, over the very waters of their own chemistry, over the very hot breath of their own air, and virtually have no control over their own muscle and bone. If I can provoke you to such anger and rage that you would strike me dead, you had no control over your own muscle and bone. That is not a master. That is a slave to impulse, to compulsion. The four elements of nature, the four elements of the earth, the four elements of human nature, as well as natural nature. I can't say forest nature because I'm still omitting the oceans and other waters. The reference again goes from this concept of Lord of the earth to identity. Who you are and what you are is found in John chapter 10, verses 31 to 36. We're providing the evidence now. I'm not taking you to Sunday school or back to Christianity, but clarifying the difference between knowledge, which is in the Bible, which is something you're supposed to know. Your religion is something you're supposed to believe. They are not one and same thing. They are two different things. Okay. John 10, 31, 36 is an argument between Jesus and the Pharisees or Sadducees, whatever. They were Negroes. We're pretty sure of that, Ethiopians. I have shown you many good works, and for which of these good works do you stone me? And the response is, we stone you not for good works, but you, being a man, make yourself out to be God. And Jesus' reply is, does not your scriptures say that ye are gods? And if your scriptures so read, they cannot be changed. The scripture he's referring to, or is being referred to, is found in Psalm 82, verses 5 to 8. They go on in darkness, knowing nothing. Did I not tell you that ye are gods, children of the Most High? Yet you shall die like men. Yet you shall die like both men and princes. Okay. We look at the concept rather than at the belief of G-O-D, which is not a Hebrew word or Syriac word or Arabic word or old ancient word. This is a code word, okay, that comes from the word in the German language of all places, gut, which means good. All the Kabbalists or Kabbalistic writers, the ones who formed the scriptures, was took out one O to get the code for I'm going to abbreviate these. Generator, that's your brain. Operator, that's you, self or soul. Destroyer, that's the sacral vertebrae at the very end of your vertebrae, where the kundalini, the coiled serpent, and the fire, the cosmic fire, is and rises up. When you have access to brain, soul, and kundalini, the cosmic fire, you then are G-O-D. Okay? But you're not infinity. You're not the creator. Okay? You're not Lord over everybody. You're Lord over yourself. Okay? I found need to make that clarity. Some brothers went out here. I am God. I've come to save all. Well, wait a minute. And brother read 2 books. So keep the ego out of there, because the ego wants your power. It must grab hold of that which is permanent. so that it can stay here. The ego is the beast. The beast who was and is and yet is not. The only thing in your nature that has no root in nature is the human ego.